Well, praise him, saints. Give him glory. Give him honor that is due unto his name. I want to have this discussion about the Iran war. As we all know that on Saturday, the Israeli government and the United States attacked Iran. And we want to discuss what is going on and how does that translate into Bible prophecy. Well, let's look at things as they are. The Bible declares that certain things would occur in the last days. We are living in the very last days, meaning Jesus Christ is soon to come back. And before he come back, things has to occur. Things have to occur that would let us know that our King, our Savior, Jesus Christ, is soon to come. So when we look at Iran, which is ancient Persia, they're in prophecies. They are a part of the alignment of Gog and Magog, modern day Russia, that Ezekiel prophesied. I believe Ezekiel chapter 30, chapter 39, prophesied would invade or attack Israel. Most scholars believe that will occur during the 7-year tribulation period. So I'm telling you that the stage is being set. We're living in exciting times. And I want you to know that Jesus Christ is soon to come back, because things that are occurring in the earth, the stage is being set for the man of sin, the Antichrist, who is to come on the scene. He is coming. And I want to share this with you. He is coming on the scene. And what we are seeing right now with President Donald Trump, who I believe is paving the way for the Antichrist. What a coincidence, if I can just share this with you. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 51 and verse 52, Paul said, "Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed in a moment and of a twinkling of an eye, at the last trump." What a coincidence that it states the last trump. Now, I teach in eschatology that is synonymous, the last trump is synonymous with the Feast of Trumpets. But the Bible also gives us clues. And I believe that this could be one of those clues. You have the President of the United States, who ran for president, became the president years ago, lost the re-election, ran again, and is the president now. And this guy, Donald Trump, and the decisions that he makes, I believe, paves the way for the Antichrist. Let me read to you the description of the Antichrist that Daniel speaks about. In the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25, listen to this. It states, "And through his policy Also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Here, Daniel is describing the future Antichrist. And if we just look at verse 25 carefully, and he states, and through his policy, a very interesting word, through his policy. Good evening to you, my brother Joseph. The Antichrist that Daniel speaks of here in chapter 8, verse 25, through his policy. Also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. I'm telling you that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, is paving the way for this Antichrist person to come on the scene. Because when you see what President Trump is doing and how his policies are unfolding. For instance, while he is negotiating with Iran for peace, the next day he drops bombs and kills their president. You have to understand that through his craft, this word craft in Hebrew shows some type of deception. Just outright, when you look at how people can deceive you. I see it with this president. When President Trump has done something that no other president in my lifetime has done. And what is that? Israel have been saying for over 2 decades, pretty much close to 3 decades, Benjamin Netanyahu had been saying Iran is close to getting a nuclear bomb. He had been wanting to bomb Iran for over 20 years with the statements they're close to getting a new nuclear weapon. You know, it's crazy how they told us, George W. Bush said that Iraq, when they went in and invaded Iraq. Now, don't get me wrong. I understood with the President Bush, the first President Bush, when Iraq invaded in Kuwait. I understand why they went over there and assembled that massive military might from all over the world. I understood then why they did it. But then when George Bush II went in and bombed Iraq, killed the president, they were stating that they have weapons of mass destruction. To this date, they didn't ever find those weapons. And so when you have Benjamin Netanyahu had been saying for over 20 years, we need to bomb Iran's nuclear sites because they're close to getting the bomb. No other president would buy into it until President Trump. President Trump bought into it, and they bombed them, in June of 2024? June of 2025? I'm telling you, people of God, that this here deception shows us what the future Antichrist looks like. Again, I'm going to read it again. In Daniel chapter 8, verse 25, again, he has given us a picture of the future Antichrist, which I've been saying for some time now, that President Trump is paving the way for the Antichrist. Let's look at Daniel chapter 8, verse 25 again. And it reads, and through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart. Listen to this. And by peace shall deceive or destroy many. Please catch this, people of God. The Antichrist will come on the scene through policy and craft. What an interesting word that Daniel said, use policy. You see the United States, you see the Israeli government, they're pushing policy while at the same time using craft. What I mean, this Hebrew word craft implies some type of deception, some type of trickery. And when you can go into a government and justify why you should be able to drop bombs on a country, and some of your justifications, some of your reasons and policy is all wrapped up in deception, who can trust you? I'm telling you that the future Antichrist, which is, in my opinion, is alive and well, this President Donald Trump is paving the way for this man of sin. And notice with the Bible, with Daniel, how Daniel describes the Antichrist in chapter 8, verse 25. He points out his policy. The United States, through their policies, have been causing much deception worldwide, justifying reasons to kill innocent people. In my opinion, that's what they're doing. When they decide that they can go into Iran and justify a reason to bomb these people, blessings to you, woman of God, Tamika Stanford Daniels. God bless you. God blessings to you, my friend, dear friend. That's when you can make up your policy and justify why you can kill or drop bombs on Iran. Now, notice this. First of all, I say this, I have to say this, because anytime you speak about Israel, if you're not careful, you will be labeled as anti-Semitic. So you'll always hear me say this. I am not anti-Semitic. I oppose all killings of Jewish people worldwide. I am against any attacks on the Jewish people. But I will speak the truth and say this. This Israeli government is not the Israel of the Bible. They are a people that I believe around 1948, when they established the Jewish state, this was a Zionist movement. These Israelis that came together are converts. They are what we call proselytes. They converted to Judaism. Are you hearing me? I'll explain to you how deceptive this what they did in attacking Iran. The Jewish state prides themselves on keeping the Torah. In the Torah, the Sabbath must be kept. The Israeli government and the United States, this past Saturday, on the Sabbath, dropped bombs on Iran. There is no way God told them to do that on the Sabbath. God, this Israeli government is not the God of the Bible. The Bible tells us in Revelation chapter 3, verse 9, I know them who say they are Jews. The word Jews should be Yehudim, but are not, but do lie. They are the synagogue of Satan. This Israeli government is described biblically as the synagogue of Satan. Why is that? Well, first of all, I know all the evangelicals, they will probably hate me for saying this, but I'm only going to speak the truth. The Bible speaks of this in Revelation 3:9. They are the synagogue of Satan. In the state of Israel today, you cannot even go over there and preach the gospel of Yeshua HaMashiach. We call him Jesus the Christ. You can't even preach Jesus Christ. For all of their right to return for all the Jewish people. Do you not know all of the Ethiopians that they airlifted? Because these Ethiopians, Jews, many of them are not converts to the faith. Many of them are bloodline descendants through the tribes of Levi and some of the other tribes. Remember, Moses married the Ethiopian woman? A lot of the Israelites fathered children through Ham's descendants. But that's another story. But do you not know that no Ethiopian Jew or Jew of any other race for the right to return cannot come and live in the land of Israel unless and they denounce Christianity? In other words, they cannot be Christians. The Bible describes these people who claim to be Jews, the synagogue of Satan. So I say this to you. This policy that they allowed to come together to bomb Iran, please catch this. When they drop bombs, they drop bombs on these generals' place of residence. They killed their spouses and children. Nothing has been said about that. They dropped the bomb on one site, killing 85 children. The news ain't saying much about that. In my opinion, it's unjust. I'm sorry. It's unjust. Don't get me wrong. If Iran started this war, then it's on them. But on the Sabbath, Israeli government and the United States dropped bombs on that country. And now you see the result of missiles going across Iran, retaliating. It's a mess. Is that biblical? I'm telling you, as I wind this video up, President Donald Trump is paving the way for the Antichrist. You and I are living in exciting times. Why? Because the Antichrist comes on the scene as a peacemaker. I'm going to read this again because some of you are popping in. In in the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25, he is describing the Antichrist. Daniel chapter 8, verse 25 says, and through his policy, listen, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Two words, policy and craft. Do y'all know do y'all know that the United States, through their policies, they justify reasons to go in and kill drop bombs on other countries? Let me take a commercial minute. They stated, we need to bomb Iran because Iran is close to getting a nuclear bomb. Ain't it strange that the United States have nuclear weapons? Ain't it strange that Israel have nuclear weapons, but yet through their policy, they can go and drop bombs on other countries because they don't want them to get nuclear weapons? Interesting. But Daniel speaks of the Antichrist through policy and craft. Trickery. That's what craft means in the Hebrew. Trickery, deception. You can make up a lie and justify it with your policies. And what did Daniel says here in Daniel chapter 8, verse 25, describing the Antichrist? And through peace, he shall destroy many. Listen to this. President Trump had, through his policies, he had his country, he had his staff meeting with the Iranian government, trying to broker a peace deal. for trying to get peace, while at the same time warships have been over there, been headed that way for weeks, if not a month now. Soon as they didn't agree to peace one day, the next day on the Sabbath, or a day or two later, they dropped bombs on Iran. Shame on the government of the United States. And mind you, for all of you evangelicals, I am a scholar as it pertains to eschatology. Just in case you don't know, this United States, this government, is the Babylon that will be destroyed, the political Babylon that will be destroyed in Revelation chapter 18. Just in case you didn't know it. The judgment for this United States, which is the political Babylon, in Revelation chapter 18, I believe that's the chapter, will be destroyed in 1 hour. Her sins, God has said, is going to remember them. So let me close out this broadcast by just telling you this, people. What we're seeing is the stage being set for the Antichrist. To date, right now, the Bible described that Daniel speaks of this Antichrist, that through peace, his policies and craft, in other words, through his ability to lie and deceive people through policy and craft, deceiving people, deception, trickery. You know, nowadays, especially in the United States and Israel, they can justify any reason for killing. Listen, it's already horrendous that they displace the Palestinians. There are millions of Palestinians just displaced, living out in tents. It's a mess. And people don't understand how many innocent people, children, women, men who are not a part of terrorist groups, who are caught in the crossfires. It's a mess. But these are things that must happen before our King, Jesus Christ, will come back to the earth. These are things that has to happen. I'm telling you this. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, if you read that whole chapter, Paul teaches when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction will come upon them as travail upon a woman. Paul understood, and anybody that understands eschatology understands that the Antichrist, who will come out of the revised Roman nation, the revised Roman Empire rather, the 10 federal nations, that this little horn Daniel describes about, the future Antichrist, the one that 2 Thessalonians calls the man of sin, who exalts himself above all that is called God. His objective is to deceive people through policy and peace. That's why Paul teaches in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction. Do you not know that Daniel also prophesied in Daniel chapter 9, verse 27? And he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. That 1 week is a 7-year period known as the tribulation period. Do you not know that if there were this agreement is a peace agreement? First of all, in order for the Antichrist to be able to get a peace agreement with many, there has to be a need for peace. We're seeing that right now. Why do I say President Trump is paving the way for the Antichrist? Because at one time, the United States was a people that you can trust to make peace. I don't think you can trust the United States with peace now, because every time the peace falls apart, they drop bombs on you, them in Israel. So who will the world turn to? You guessed it, the Antichrist. The Antichrist who arises out of the European Union, the man of sin, as Daniel describes in Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy and craft, his trickery, his deception, his lies, his ability to deceive people, and through peace will destroy many. That's why Paul says when they say peace and safety, because they know that the Antichrist is the one in chapter 9 of the book of Daniel, verse 27, who confirms a covenant with many for 1 week. We see the need for peace, don't you think? The stage is being set. We're living in critical times. And if I were you, I would not be paying attention to any of the stuff that you see. Well, let me rephrase that. If I were you, I would pay attention to what I see, but I would allow it to draw me closer to Jesus Christ and shoring up my relationship with Jesus. But because we are American citizens, I would by no means be rejoicing as a lot of my evangelicals brothers are doing, thinking that President Trump did something good by bombing Iran, killing innocent women and children. I'm telling you that all we see that when we see Donald Trump with his policies, and I'm saying it, his craft, his deceptive ways of tricking people. 1 minute you're saying we're gonna have peace, and then the next day you're dropping bombs. I'm telling you, don't rejoice over evil. A lot of my evangelical brothers, they swear up down Trump is the savior. They don't say it like that, but they don't understand. He is paving the way for the Antichrist. Because guess what? When these countries, they're gonna really realize we can't make peace with the United States. So guess who they're gonna look at to bring peace? The man of sin, the Antichrist. They're gonna be tricked by the Antichrist, because how am I gonna trust the United States to make peace when they're dropping bombs on us? They're killing our children and women. And if you drop a bomb and kill any Jews in the Middle East, it's like the end of the world. You did so bad. And don't get me wrong, it is bad to kill Jews. But guess what? It is also bad to kill kids who are Iranian descent. You can't just kill Iranians children. You can't kill Palestinian children and be like, oh, I'm sorry. And don't think it broods hatred for people to want to kill other people's kids, Jewish kids and all that. It's a mess. And who's going to fix it? A deceptive person called the Antichrist. He's going to swoop in and through peace destroy many. So what I'm doing is trying to not take it personal. I hate war. I hate bullies. I'm an American, a proud American, but I hate bullies. I hate to see anybody bullying any other country. Yes, when you Iran, you can say what you want about Iran, and I don't speak for Iran. But when you can simply say, all I know is that they weren't bombing anybody. And on the Sabbath, last Saturday, the Israeli government breaking the Sabbath with the United States dropped bombs on Iran. I'm totally against that. Blessed are the peacemakers. I'm not one of my evangelical friends who sees this Israeli government. I see them as Zionism. I see them. I'm not talking about my Jewish brothers who are not a part of Zionism. I understand that there is a people that Revelation describes. In Revelation chapter 3, verse 9, I know them who say they are Jews, meaning Yehudins, but do lie, but are the synagogue of Satan. So don't get it twisted. Satan is out here working. And the man of sin, the Antichrist, is being, I like to say he's getting ready to step on the stage. All in the name of peace. So when you see Donald Trump, who can declare war on another country without even convening with Congress, Yeah, you get my point? So what do? Make sure you shore up your heart with Jesus Christ, because these are things that must take place before he come back. There must be a need for the Antichrist to be able to trick people into signing a peace agreement. There must be a need for peace, and we're seeing that need. But I will tell you this, the church, when this stuff hits the fan, we're going to be raptured up out of here first. That's right. I'm a Bible teacher of the rapture. I'm just here to warn you. When you see what's going on, this Iran, I'll say this as I close. Ezekiel prophesied in Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 39, Gog and Magog. Interpretation of that is the coming invasion by Russia and their proxies. One of those people that will be aligned with Russia when they invade Israel is Iran. The word Iran is ancient Persia. So you can see the stage being set where the Russians really like Iran. They like the Iranian people. They like that country. The coming in war with Russia and Iran against Israel, it's real. It's real. It's going to take place once the tribulation period begins. But we're going to be gone. We're not going to be here to witness this stuff that's about to hit the fan. So guess what? Pay attention to the news. I'm just on my assignment to try to break some news or explain some things as best as I can, showing you that these are things that must happen before Jesus Christ comes. But I also want to warn my evangelical brothers and sisters who think it's okay because the United States is dropping bombs on Iran, not realizing that a lot of innocent children, Iranian people, are being killed. This ain't about me supporting Iran. I don't support anybody. I'm a proud American. But I can understand that, just like Daniel, and I'm done. Daniel chapter 8, verse 25 speaks about the future Antichrist and through his policies. I see the same thing in the United States when they come up with policies. They did it in Iraq. They got weapons of mass destruction. We go in there, kill the president, never find these weapons that through policies and through craft, deception, trickery. That's what the Antichrist is going to do. So before y'all get on the bandwagon, praise Trump because no other president did what he did. Before you start hailing him as the savior, remember, they're going to do the same thing to the Antichrist. God bless you. Thank you.